I always took this with me. And I would show up on somebody's boat and I'd have it in my hand, and people would always say, "What's in the bag? What's in the bag?" And I just set it down and I said, "Oh, I'll get to that." Okay. And I would talk to them about their boat, and I'd talk to them about how they use the boat, where they go fishing, how they, is it a family cruise, or do they just go to the beach? Do they go out drinking? What do they do? And I kind of tried to get to know people a little bit so I could feel out how they use the boat. Once I got a good idea, I took some measurements, and I would get this out. And everybody always wanted to see what was inside the zipper, right? And so it's an enclosure package. And this is something that I made up throughout the years. I made them all very similar sizes. You'll notice that they're almost that size, and that's because it fits into that suitcase that's underneath the stair, so I can travel with this if I needed to. But these panels all have caterwelt at the top, and they slide into a piece of track. This bag is made out of Evolution, or car cover material, and that's just to keep it protected. This kit is probably 12 years old, something like that. It's been sitting in my garage only for the last 7 years, so I broke it out to show everybody. The reason I would do this is because I wanted to be able to sell an enclosure. So when I went out and talked to somebody, they knew that they wanted an enclosure, but they didn't know what the options were, what kind of materials were available. And so I would always show them this, and I said, look, this is rolled glass. It's a simple finish, so the facing is only on the outside, it's not on the inside. The zipper is just that, it's just a zipper. There's no flap on it, there's no cover, there's no anything else. This is great for a little runabout when somebody wants to stay dry, when it starts raining in the afternoon and want something quick and easy to put it up. If I'm on a 40-foot Viking or a 40-foot Chris Craft or something like that, I'm going to show them this, and I'm going to say, this is not what you want. You can hold it up, yeah, you can see through that clear vinyl, but it's sort of clear, okay? So then I would put this one back over, and then I'd say, okay, so the next step up is we have a 40 gauge clear vinyl, okay, and this one has a screen in it. My screens were zip out screens, and they would roll up. So what I did is I basically sewed 2 of those U-zips, just like I just did. One of them was for the screen, and the other was for the clear vinyl. Then I would hold this up, and I'd say, so you can see the clarity difference from that piece to this piece. This is 40 gauge, that was 30 gauge. See how much more body there is to this one. And I would show them that this is what I would call a yacht finish, where it's finished equally inside and outside. So you don't get the water trapped in there, you don't get the mildew. You still get the mildew, you just don't see it. It has exposed zippers. On the outside, I did not do a flap. I simply sewed down 2 pieces of 3/4 inch binding. It covers it up, it keeps it from fading, it makes it look pretty nice. It does absolutely nothing to keep the water out. But this was kind of step 2. Okay, and if they wanted to, then if they were interested in the screen, I could show them the screen. If they didn't, that's fine too. From there, I'd go to my premium version. Okay, also 40 gauge Stratoglass.
Two-tone, I like it.
Two-tone, because at that time I was using a lot of the Sombrella Supreme, which is no longer available, but apparently I was the only one who used it. So I did two-tone. I did tan zippers on the inside. I did navy on the outside. I used black thread on the outside and clear thread on the inside, so it looked really nice. I've seen a lot of times when people do the tan on the inside, they put black zippers on or white zippers. I just didn't like the way that looked, so I always, made the extra effort to get a tan zipper. One reason I told you that I only put 1 piece of tape on that, use it, and that's because I learned from my mistakes. Everybody see the black marks around there? That's the tape. That's caused by heat. I live in Florida; it's always hot. Eventually, that tape softens up and leaches through the fabric. That's why I started to minimize the amount of tape that I put on, and I almost never put it on a zipper for that very reason. If you haven't experienced that, you probably will at some point. This enclosure panel had a built-in flap that covers up the zipper with a Velcro flap, so I could show people, look, these 2 pieces zip together, and that's what your panels are going to look like from one panel to the next. You got a flap covering up the zipper. It was my premium option. And so basically what I was doing is I was walking my customers through the options that they had to talk to them about what's available, what kind of options we had. And if they had a 32-foot sea ray, I was probably going to stop right here. If we were looking at a 50 or 60-foot sport fish, then I would go to the next option, which is the creme de la creme. It's a rigid panel, okay? So you put this up there, it's as clear as glass. You can almost not even see it at all. It goes around corners nicely. There's no distortion or wrinkling. I made these in-house. This is impact modified acrylic. Some people use Macrolon, some people use impact modified acrylic. The difference is the acrylic cannot be sewn and the Macrolon can be sewn. So this is bonded. I used a Stamoy vinyl on the outside and inside, and again a built-in flap to cover up the zippers.
Did you bond that yourself?
Sorry, somebody else?
Did you bond that yourself?
I did. Trade secret.
Yeah, really.
Nice.
And so then, if they really wanted to go all out,
They say keep going back. Keep bond.
you cannot bond Macrolon because it has an abrasion coating on the outside. You can, but you have to grind that coating off. I would not recommend it. But you can sew it, so that's easy enough. So the creme de la creme is a bonded acrylic window with a U-zip in it, so that the guy in the sport fish can open this thing up and hinge it up and get immediate air and access. This is not a beginner project. I'm going to be honest with you, this is a challenge. Probably the most difficult enclosure panel that I ever constructed was one with the U-zip in bonded acrylic, because again, you cannot sew through the bonded acrylic. It will fracture and destroy the material. So that's kind of a challenge. But again, depending on how deep somebody's pockets were, I was able and willing to offer them anything.
You don't want to leave any money on the table.
Sorry?
You don't want to leave any money
That's
on the
right.
table.
That's right. So after I went through that presentation, I would kind of start flipping back and say, so here's the bonded, here's the bonded acrylic with the ventilation U-zip in it. Here's the bonded acrylic with the flip-up panel. Here's your 40 gauge sheet vinyl, scratch resistant. Two-tone or solid, depending on the on the job. Obviously, just showing an example with the built-in flaps and a nice U-zip and a flap over the U-zip, which is what I just did this afternoon.